This is Bedtime Stories, Grownup Edition, Queenpin 2.0, Part 6. When we left off in Part 5, Selima was telling the Queen Mother how the Colombians got the evidence that could send the whole crew to jail for a very, very long time, and how Jira got away. If you watch bonus episode 1, parts 1 and 2, then you know what went on leading up to Pop Sandy's death and how Rennie ended up in Venezuela. At the round table, after Selima told the Queen Mother all about the script that she got from her father, that included Tru as bait and Donovan and Rennie as a romantic couple, all of whom were on vacation, the Queen Mother asked, "And how exactly did you all get Rennie to agree to participate in all of this? I need to know that this girl is truly in her right mind before I expend the time, energy, and resources investing in and supporting her." True said, "I promise, Medea." The Queen Mother interrupted her and said, "In this world, I'm not Medea. I'm not Aunt Bella either," she said while looking at Selima. "I'm Queen B." Selima said, "Oh, I know that's right, Auntie." "Oh, I mean Queen B." Then True told the Queen Mother what happened when they met Rennie at the airstrip 5 months and 1 week earlier. The pilot had already been alerted that he needed to do his maintenance, gas up, do his inspections, and meet two more passengers before heading to Dallas. So when True and Selima boarded the private jet, True made the introductions. True explained that Selima was the Queen Mother's niece, her only brother's only child. And then she said, "And she and I are working together. We're here in Venezuela on a job." And then Selima said, "And before she tells you anything else, I need to know what you on." Rennie said, "I'm on whatever my best friend on. I just need to know if all you are is a co-worker or if she trusts you enough to call you a friend." True said, "She and I have put in some work together, and as a result, I do trust her. And she's also shown that she has the potential to become a friend. We're not quite there yet. Like you, Selima is still learning how to do friendship. Another thing that you two have in common is if you piss her off, she will read you for filth. And Selima, you need to know that y'all two better make nice. Because if I ever have to choose," Selima said, "Oh, I already know. You, her, and Stephanie are the three musketeers. And Stephanie has already made it very clear to me that if she ever has to choose, she's choosing y'all, despite the fact that I'm her blood cousin." Rennie said, "Cousin?" True said, "Okay, let's slow down. Rennie, you just got out of treatment. I need to know that what the doctors are saying is true. That you're better, you got your head screwed on straight, you're medicated, you understand that Q." Rennie cut off and said, "I owe Q and Angela an apology. I've already apologized to Angela, but I still need to do that in person, and I will. I owe my brother and sister an apology. Hell, I owe you and Stephanie an apology. I was definitely on one. But that place that Angela sent me to was perfect. Them people ain't play no games. And believe me, I tried to fool them, but they wasn't going. They was determined to get to the bikini bottom of things and take me with them. And I'm glad they did, because I finally unpacked some stuff and realized that I got daddy issues. The next man that I lay my sights on is going to be in my age group and single. He's going to have to make it painfully clear that he's interested in me and he's serious about me. He's going to have to know that I got a few screws loose and I'm a few fries short of a dang on Happy Meal. He also going to have to know not to play with me because I'll put his damn lights out. And he going to have to make sure that he ain't got no unfinished business or no unresolved issues with no other women so that I don't slip back over the damn edge." True said, "And he going to have to make sure you take your damn medication too. But right now, I'm not even interested in no man. What I'm interested in is getting my life back in order, getting myself together. I'd really love to go back to college and finish my degree and do something useful to my scientific acumen. I'm a boss with a test tube and some chemicals. I could find the cure for cancer or something." Then Selima asked, "So you want to be a legitimate woman, huh? You want to walk the straight and narrow?" Rennie said, "Something tells me that's not what the hell y'all doing in Venezuela. What y'all doing?" True said, "I'm going to tell you, but two things need to happen. One,
You need to keep everything I tell you to yourself. You can't get mad about something one day. And Rennie said, I apologize for all the times that I got pissed off and then I threw up whatever was going on in your life in your face to deflect from the crazy that I was on. See, I told you that therapy stuff was working. Tru chuckled and said, right. So you need to keep it all to yourself. That's A number one. And B number two, you got to be prepared for the possibility that if you get in this, you're not going to be able to get out of it. Rennie asked, is Stephanie in it too? Tru said, yep. Rennie said, well, if I'm in it with y'all, I ain't trying to get out of it. Let's go. Then Tru and Selima filled Rennie in on everything. What was going on with Stephanie, the situation with the Queen Mother, Pops Andy's heart attack, and Jira's kidnapping. And Selima said, I'm running this operation and Tru is my right hand. But she and I are trained finishers. And at some point, Donovan's coming back. And he'll probably be the face of the operation. So your job will solely be to get in where you fit in. We may just need you to be another pretty face. Or we may need you to whip up some of those recipes of yours. But we'll never put you in a situation that you're not prepared for. Send you in to a play blind. Or put you in some circumstances that might jeopardize your mental health.
Rennie said, bet. When we start? Selima said, well, first, we need to head to Dallas. Q called and he said that the Queen Mother's got to pull the plug on my uncle, so I want to be there. And I'm sure that Tru want to be there to support her man. Tru said, I told you, that's not my man. Selima said, I know what you told me, but I saw how he looked at you when he picked Donovan up. Tru said, everybody thinks that they know everything just by looking at somebody. Selima said, keep it real, girl. It ain't nothing. We all friends here. Rennie said, you and Woody, you do know he tried to pretend like he was interested in me when I was tripping on Q. Tru said, yeah, and I know you gave him the business too. You got hard feelings? Rennie said, nah, I ain't interested. I told you, the next man I get is gonna want me for real. So what's to you and Wood? Tru said, we have an understanding. We working on things and seeing where they go. But that's between me and you two. Understand? No hints, no innuendos, no snide comments. If you see something, you ain't see nothing. Selima said, I got you. That's the way to do it. That way, if it don't work out, you ain't got to explain a whole lot to a whole lot of people. Rennie said, it better work out, because if he play with my best friend. Tru said, all right, Rennie, please, don't start. Back at the round table, the Queen Mother said, now, I'm sure that if I ask those two, I'm going to get two very different versions of the same crazy story. But I need one of y'all to tell me exactly how this mess got started between Donovan and Rennie. And before you even think about holding back, I'm asking you because I'm trying to keep her in the land of the living. Manny will not hesitate to put Rennie on a t-shirt if she tries any of that mess that she pulled with that professor back at LSU. Then Tru told her that it was Rennie who reined Donovan in at the memorial service back in Dallas. She took him home after the services, and when Maribel showed up to have it out with him once and for all, Donovan threw Rennie in the mix 5 months and a few days earlier. By the time Tru, Rennie, and Selima arrived in Dallas, Pop Sandy was gone. The entire family, except Donovan and Stephanie, had convened at the estate. The closest family friends were there as well, and everyone was in shambles. And they were all surprised to see Rennie there. Rennie and Tru explained that when the facility tried to get in contact with Angela and LJ, they were unable to reach them. So they called Tru, and she arranged her transportation. They conveniently left out that she had her flown to Venezuela. Rennie apologized to the entire family since everybody but Donovan was there, and with all of their grief, they were certainly in a forgiving mood. But she was surprised to find that they'd all already forgiven her. When she gave them her whole spiel about finding a man who really wanted her for her, who was actually available and in her age group, everybody breathed a sigh of relief. Tru kept her promise to Corey to be present at the estate to help him take care of baby Kari. And Selima and Rennie went and booked hotel rooms. As was typical, Tru went and booked a hotel room too. But this time, it wasn't just in case she found some entertainment. It was so she would have a place to rendezvous with Big Wood. When she came back to the estate, he was waiting outside. She walked up to him and said, "How you holding up?" Woody said, "I'm devastated, little mama. With my pops locked up most of my life, and Q being my best friend since we was little, his pops was like my pops." Tru handed him the second key to her hotel room and said, "I'm not good with all of this. It brings back too many memories. So I'm going to see how I can support Corey while he supports the family. And when I'm done here, I'll see you at the room." Big Wood said, "Well, I'm going to hang around here till you're ready to go. I need you in a bad way." A few days later, at the memorial service, the entire St. James and Baptiste family was present. So was LJ and his entire family. Big Woody, his mother, and his sisters. Several of Q, Donovan, and Anya's friends who loved Pops Andy like he was their father, and Rennie and Tru. The only person who was absent was Stephanie. Even the heads of the four families were there with their right-hand men. The memorial service went exactly as Pops Andy intended, and several people got up and spoke for 2 or 3 minutes about their love for Pops Andy, how much they would miss him, and how important he was in their lives, including Angela and Melissa. Right before Q got up to speak, Rennie took Donovan in the hallway. She said, "Listen, Donovan, I understand that you and Q beefing right now. But your mother does not deserve for you to get up there and make a fool out of yourself. Don't make a mockery out of your father's memorial service, embarrass your whole family, and break your mother's heart. Your children, your nieces and nephews are all here. Your baby sister is here. And she doesn't deserve to see you signing a whole bunch of shenanigans up there. And the rest of us don't want to hear it. You got beef with your brother? Shoot a fair one tomorrow. But don't get up there and prove everybody right." Donovan said, "What you mean prove everybody right?" Rennie said, "Don't get up there and prove to everybody that you crazy as hell. Between the two of us, this family done had all the damn crazy they could stand. Now act like you got some damn sense and go in there and sit down. And if you can't control yourself, don't say nothing." Donovan said, "I don't know who the hell you think you are, Rennie." Rennie said, "I'm probably the only person in here who can get away with punching in your face in here. I'm still certified crazy." Donovan said, "Ooh, I think I like that." Rennie said, "Don't start. Just go in here and act like you got some sense. Respect your father's memory." When Donovan and Rennie walked back in, Q was wrapping up. Donovan walked up to the podium and said, "My father was the best man I ever knew. If I could be half the man and father that he was, I'll be doing a good job. I'll never be as close to another man in the world as I was to my pops. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good man, and he should still be here. And I'm going to move heaven and earth to make sure that any and everybody who had a hand." Rennie said, Donovan said, "Y'all know what's up." And then he sat down. And the lights dimmed and a television dropped down out of the ceiling. And on the screen was Pops Andy. He left a video. And when they were done watching that video, there wasn't a dry eye in that room, and everybody was sitting up a little straighter. Their hearts were a little fuller, and their consciences were a little clearer. And Donovan was inconsolable. As everyone else went to the back for refreshments, he rushed out the front door. Behind him was Maribel, and behind her was Rennie. When Maribel caught up to Donovan, Donovan turned around and said, "Leave me alone. I promised not to make a scene here. But if you say one word to me, I'm going to make a scene." Maribel said, "Where are you going?" Donovan said, "I'm going home." Maribel said, "I don't know if you should be driving this upset." Rennie said, "I got him. I'll take him home. I'll be right back." As Rennie drove Donovan home, he cried in the passenger seat of the rental car that she was driving like a baby. And not 2 minutes after they pulled up in his driveway and Rennie got him inside, Maribel was ringing the doorbell. When Donovan went to the door, he said, "Listen, Maribel, I don't want to disrespect." Maribel cut him off and said, "Just listen to me for a minute, Donovan. I'm not in the business of chasing behind men. I'm also not in the business of putting my father in positions where he might have the potential to have to go to war with his own people because one of their sons mishandled his daughter. The way that you've behaved throughout this entire situation tells me that all that talk about how you developed self-control was a bunch of bull. I asked you when we met if you were taking command of your mental health, and you went off to the DR and stopped taking care of you. And had you done what you needed to do, none of this would even be an issue. You can't even see that. And when you finally do get help and you realize that you've handled this whole situation wrong, I won't be here. Sorry won't be enough. You called me out of my name and accused me of doing things that I would never do. And there is no coming back from that. And I know you told me you was done with me, but I need to make it clear to you that when you finally get your head on straight, don't come back around this mulberry bush. Pissed, Donovan said, you ain't got to worry about me, because I'm with Rennie. Then he grabbed Rennie, wrapped his arms around her shoulder, and kissed her on the cheek and said, this my woman now. Rennie looked at Donovan like he was crazy. She said, no, I'm not. And when he gets some help, he'll be, Maribel said, baby girl, I don't care if he's yours or not. If you want him, you can have him, because I don't want him. And walked off.